I realized that I didn't post any videos of his picks, and I showed a bunch of warm ups, practicing picks, and it's a super important part of fielding. So I wanted to go through and kind of show why I was showing some of that stuff. So and kind of break down what we're doing when we're fielding. So he does a prep step hop, and then this is just something that he likes to do, just so he can decide which way to go. If you watch him, he's kind of reading the bat. He reads it as going one way, and the ball goes the other, which is fine. He's guessing, right? That's what that is. He's guessing of reading the bat. But as he comes through, he's moving through this ball. Important, showing the glove early. We want to get that face out early. He's way early here. He's reading up the timing of that hop, and he's working through the ball with the heel of the glove, pushing through. There's not a lot of arm movement on this because he is moving forward. On this one, if he's standing still and pushing through, which there are a lot of those, there's not any of this in this fielding package that I have. Just there wasn't any that he had to do that day, but in the field, he has a lot of those when they're coming at him. But he's moving, so he doesn't have a lot of arm action to push through the ball here. And then next one, same thing. He is making sure, if you watch his eyes and his head, the gloves out. He's reading every hop. So, and I'm going to show you what the difference is when he's reading these. He's not just like, I don't say, hey, I'm gonna hit some short hoppers. I'm pretty far back too. And you see him throw, he's taking a lot of times, he'll take a 4-step approach and a 2-step approach. So you see there's 2 cages here that he's in between. I want to say there's 6 in this facility, and he's throwing across all of them. So he's throwing pretty far. This is a decent throw for him. So here he goes to take it, and he looks like, oh, maybe I can come get that hop, but then he realizes I'm not going to make it there. And this is going to be a long hop for me. So he reads it up, stays back on it, and fields through it and makes the throw. Next one up here. This one he knows he can come get, so he's pushing through and makes that play. Same thing here. One thing that's important, he's usually trying to get to the right of the ball for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is because it's easier to read the hop. We're talking about hops a lot, and you'll hear people say, especially on our forum, it's just like, oh, you gotta pick out the hops and read the hops. Well, what does that really mean? What that means is the ball is usually going to be skipping across the ground. It's not going to roll to you most of the time. And so you're trying to figure out, you want to play the last hop, but the last hop's gonna be the one you have to play. And so he's trying to figure out which one he wants to play. So can I come up and get that hop? No, I'm not gonna make it. So I need to sit back and try to either make this a long hop and grab it, or I need to sit back and I'm gonna take this short hop. Well, he knows, okay, this is gonna be a short hop for me, and I gotta move through this. So that he's determining all this as he's moving and as he's reading it, but he has to get a little bit to the side of the ball to see it. So that's what he's doing here. And then he knows that as he fields it, he's got to be coming back through the ball. He usually plays short and second most of the time. He'll play some third every once in a great while. He catches and plays a very little bit of outfield, but he's mostly a middle infielder, so he knows most of the time he's coming back through to his left, so he wants to be moving that way. So he is setting up himself to field through the ball that direction. And he's usually contemplating, as much as he can, he wants to come forward, but there's times where you can, especially if the ball's rocketed at you. And this used to be a point of contention with most coaches, especially at younger ages. They harp on kids and say, oh, you got to charge the ball. You got to charge every ball, charge the ball, charge the ball. And I straight up told him, no, you're not. You don't do that. And coaches would be happy if he just chested up a ball. he would run himself into a bad hop and take it off his chest, and coaches would be happy with that, like, oh yeah, good job, you took it off your chest, you got in front of it. Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You don't want to take a ball off the chest. You want to field the ball clean. It's slower to take it off your chest and then have to pick it up than it is to drop step it clean and get your footwork going to throw the ball. And there's a reason that big league players don't take it off their chest. They don't run up to the ball as hard as they can, take it off their chest, and then pick it up because it's slow. You want to field the ball clean. Sometimes that means drop stepping. Sometimes that means not rushing up on it. Sometimes it means sitting back and taking this hop. Like, he could have tried to rush up on that and grab that hop right there, but he knew he wasn't going to get to it. So what's he do? He sits back. He's like, all right, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna take this hop. Maybe it's gonna be an in between hop. Maybe it's gonna be a long hop, and I'll adjust from there. He knew, okay, if it's gonna bounce there, this is the speed. It's gonna be a long hop for me. It's easy. That's an easy play. And that's why he has so few errors, because he knows exactly what to do with every ball he sees. And it's just routine. Like, can I go get that one? No, I gotta sit back. This one's being fired at me. I gotta drop step it. I gotta get my glove up to defend myself. And, the only time he'll have an error is just, his glove misplayed. And that's gonna happen because we're human beings, and sometimes your glove's gonna get misplayed. Sometimes you're gonna punt it off the side of your glove. Things are gonna happen, but he has very few errors. Fielding is his favorite thing. We post a lot of hitting videos, and that's natural because hitting is super hard, and that's what you have to do to play, is to hit. But this is what he loves to do. He likes to get out in the field, and he loves to put his glove on and go field balls because this is what his favorite thing is. This one here, he's gonna backhand this, so when you see him move, he's going to plant his foot. He's made his decision. He's planted his foot. This is it. Doesn't matter what happens now because he's committed, right? So on this, he's thinking that he's going to get a short hop. He misread this a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to be moving back through it anyways. He plants his foot, so he's not going to be able to get in front of it to field it in between his legs. So he's going to backhand this, and he wants to backhand it with momentum. So he could have tried to get it off the hop. I don't think it would have made a difference either way. But he miscalculated a little bit, so now he knows he has a stretch for it if he wants to get momentum. And you see how he sets up his knee. He knows he's going to be pushing himself to his left. So he comes through, and he's already stepping with momentum. That way, he always is trying to set himself up to be able to throw. But every time he fields, if you watch his eyes, he sees the ball in the glove, and he doesn't pick that glove up until he knows he has the ball. Because it doesn't matter how good of a play you make unless you have the ball. And I've put that in his head since he was little, because he would make these great plays, but the ball would roll out of his glove or whatever, and I'd be like, dude, it doesn't matter what you do. The play isn't made until you have the ball in your glove. And so that was just something he's very meticulous. I used to make him put his shirt in his mouth to keep his head down, because he would get to the ball. He has great footwork, but he wouldn't finish. And so I made him put his shirt in his mouth, so he would always have his head down. And now his eyes are always drawn right to the ball. And so the technique has really showed up for him. So he's 12. Last year he played for 3 different teams, played a lot of games, a lot of innings, and he had 4 errors total. He played the state tournament. He had 13 putouts and no errors. And it gets to the point where, like, if a hitter hits to him, sometimes it's sad to watch, but they hit it to him and they just kind of walk to the dugout. So that's what, he thrives on this. This is what he likes to do. This is how he plays. And he'll tell me, Dad, I don't want to hit today. I want to go field, and I'll have to make him go hit. So as soon as he starts hitting home runs, more frequently, maybe that'll change. But this is his thing. This is what he likes to do. here you see him. He always is anticipating being able to come up on it, and then he can adjust back. It's easier to adjust back than forward. So he always is. If you watch his first move, he's always looking to come up to get that short hop, and it's always consistent. If you watch him move, that glove's out first, showing towards the ball, and then we're coming through it. Eyes come down to the ball. Also, this is a brand new glove, so it's a little stiff. Shout out to Chris Gross in the group. He's the one that hooked me up through Buckler. He did an awesome job, and Buckler, of course. I love these gloves. Hilo is his name. He won't play with anything else other than a Buckler glove. So he's like locked into that brand. But he just hasn't got this thing broken all the way he likes it yet. So this is kind of, I wanted to get some picks in here because we were working on it, and this is why. So we can go get every one of these, and you'll see these in games a lot. Depending on your pitching and who's pitching, you'll see a lot of choppers. So it's good to have that in your arsenal.